Hey guys, this is Mike here from Ecom Knives, and today I wanted to show you my first ever frame lock flipper. That's right, I finally finished one. The mechanics work great. So far so good. I'm really liking it. I'm getting really excited about this. Now I know I've been hinting at it forever and ever. And to be honest, this has been a lot of trial and error. There aren't many tutorials on YouTube, let alone anywhere else on the internet. So I picked bits and pieces and kind of figured it out on my own. Now, to get to this stage was about 20 CAD designs with subtle changes from each one. Each one I learned something and moved on to the next one and on to the next one. It also took a couple of failed prototypes. See what I mean? To get to that point. Now, I still have this one, and I held on to it purposely to show you the difference of why I moved on to the next design. Now, before you ask, and I know I'm going to get a couple of comments about this, will I do a tutorial on how to make a flipper? The answer is yes, but it'll be a while. I want to make sure I'm very well versed before I start spreading any more information out there. I don't want to give you guys wrong information and send you guys in the wrong direction and have you wasting a whole bunch of time and money and effort on something that just plain old doesn't work. And I know this is distracting too, because here's another fun fact. I've shot this video about 5 times already, and a couple times I didn't like it. One time I cut myself right after the video was done, and I started bleeding all over the place with this one. Yeah, it bit me. And the other one was I downloaded Windows 10, which was a horrible mistake because I couldn't figure out how to import my video, as it was done last night, and you would be watching it today, which is Wednesday, but I accidentally deleted it since I didn't know how to import it. Brilliant, right? Anyway, enough about that. Let's show you the knife. Now, this one I didn't focus on making it pretty, just for the simple fact that this one was always destined for my pocket. I finally made myself a knife, but not for the reason of, you would think. This is strictly for testing. So I made it to test the functionality of it. So I put it in my pocket, and immediately I started just using it, EDCing it, beating on it. This one was done for about 3 or 4 days, and I think the first day I ever carried it, I scratched up the backspacer because I dropped it out of the back of my truck onto the street. Whatever. I have to test it somehow, right? So I'm not too heartbroken about it. So anyway, I'll give you a quick little walkthrough of the knife. This pocket clip happens to be zirconium. They will be either made out of zirconium, titanium, or maybe some other exotic material, but it will be a 3D machine clip, as you see here. Just like that. The backspacer, don't mind all the scratches from the street, but this one just happens to be zirconium as well to match the knife. I could do a lot of different things with backspacers, so this is just a plain old flush fit one, nice and polished. Of course, the handles will be titanium, and one of the things I wanted to test was how this finish holds up. This is, I figured out a nice little recipe of blasting media that'll give me this kind of matte silver satin on titanium. It's more work than doing something like this dark blast, but I think it looks really nice. It's not too slippery. It's got a smooth feel to it, but it's so far so good. It's hidden some scratches, you know, from when I dropped it and everything, so I like it. Let me know what you guys think. Also, of course, it's a frame lock, so you got your lock bar relief there. That might change. It might be a smooth one. That really doesn't make a difference. I could pretty much do anything right there, so that's no big deal. The lock bar is carbidized, so there is 0 blade stick. Now, I'll bring it in nice and close so you can hear it, and you tell me if you hear anything. Nothing, right? I'm holding the blade. See him pumping the lock bar? No stick whatsoever. Now I could even take it and, as hard as I could, let's see if we hear any blade stick. Lock stick. Nothing. Nothing. Now, this one had a sticky lock. Made me nuts. So it took me a long time to figure out how to make it not stick. Check out the centering on it. Nice and centered. Now the stop pin, as I said, I had to change the stop pin location. So I went with a completely different design, and I've seen this done before. So this isn't my design, so to speak, but the execution in a small shop like mine on a manual milling machine is tough. It really is tough. It was quite the challenge. But I think I've got it nailed. I figured it out. So here's the stop pin. As you can see, you don't see anything. See it poking up right there? It's a hidden stop pin. So you'll see it pop out during the travel and then disappear back into the handle. As you can see, it's milled out. Now I purposely left this window here because I thought it looked neat. See the stop pin popping out and disappearing. But I've actually moved the handle a bit forward because you see I have a little bit of my lock face sticking out, and that's no good. Definitely don't want that. So that is one design change, but that's a very easy change for the next one. So I'm just going to extend this just a hair to hide that lock face. Now, as you can see, pretty simple, basic functionality. This isn't the actual blade shape that it's going to be. That was another kind of error. I got feeling a little squirrely that day and decided to make myself a drop point. This is the blade shape that it will be. This might look familiar to you because it is the agitator blade. That's right, it's going to be a locking agitator, and I have one here. This is a finished agitator, number 6, I believe, to give you an idea of what the blade will look like. And obviously this one has a much higher level of fit and finish and refinement than this one, because this one was destined for me, this one was destined for you guys. So it'll have that blade in a locking handle. See? Now, before you go and start crying and stuff like that, don't worry. If you really like this blade style, I have a very similar one. Slightly less of a drop, maybe a little bit more belly, in another design that's right in line with this one. So there are actually 2 other variations of the locking knife. Now each one will have a different name, but because this is the first one, and it's going to have the agitator blade shape, since it's kind of my flagship model, my logo is the little Diablo guy, right? So this is going to be called the Diablo. First ever frame lock. Ooh, I gotta move it along. I'm running out of battery here. Now I just want to say, don't expect this level of fit and finish. Like I said, this is the level of fit and finish that you should expect. As you can see, this one's nice and contoured. Everything fits really nice. Very tight tolerances. You could just barely see the gap in there. Smooth transitions from everything. No scratches or anything. No glaring defects. Now, at the end of the day, it is a handmade knife, so it's going to have some issues, of course, as it is handmade. I will never say I put out a absolute 100% perfect product, but I'll try. I will try every day. I'll get a little bit closer. So that's about it, guys. Oh, one more thing I want to show you. This doesn't have an over travel stop that you can see. I purposely put the pocket clip right over the seam in the lock bar. So when you go to unlock this, let's say you hand it to your buddy that doesn't know anything about knives, and he goes to unlock it, and you cringe when he takes the lock bar and bends it out into outer space over here and ruins your knife. You can't do this. You can't do that with one of mine. So I'll pull as hard as I can. That's it. It's because the pocket clip, the 3D machine pocket clip, is holding it down. I can't defeat that clip. You see what I mean? I mean, if you really jam a screwdriver in there and bend it, I'm sure you defeat the clip, but it helps. It helps prevent you from overextending the lock. So that's about it, guys. Very simple construction. So it's going to be 3 screws. So one for the pivot, and 2 for the backspacer to take the whole thing apart. So you drop it in the ocean or whatever, you're out yachting with your Diablo. You can take it apart really easily and clean it. It has, of course, ball bearings and what else? Yeah, I think that's about it. But oh, you can light switch it as far as the action goes. So you pull back and the light switches out, or you can push in and push button it, and nice snappy action when you push button it. Even when you light switch, it comes out pretty quick. And I could do it with just about a single finger. So there's the middle finger. Let's do the ring finger. Ah, almost got it. Ring finger. Now, alright, well, I need to practice. But believe me, it's smooth. Now, as far as dropping free, you see it needs a little bit of a wiggle. Now, I want it to be a little smoother than that, and I know what I need to do. The bearing surface inside needs to be polished up a little bit. But I should be able to get it drop a little freer than this. No promises, though. I'm new to this. So anyway, that's about it, guys. I think I've covered everything. If you have any questions, put them down below. And I'm going to start getting to work and making some of these. Because this has been a long time. This has been my goal since I started making knives. Was to make a frame lock. To make a locking knife and make it available for you guys. Well, that's it. That's it for this one. I'll catch you on the next one. This is Mike here from Ecom Knives. I'll see you guys later.